In a few days, millions of Americans will hit the road for the holiday weekend. That means there are travel plans to be made and lodging to be booked.
Some travelers will use online short-term rentals, but do they keep your family safe? City and state leaders have a warning for you. 10 of your size Jason Marks has been looking into this issue. Jason.
Yeah, Tom, this is a big problem for city leaders. Take a look. This is one of those sites. This is Airbnb, and you can see all the places right now that are for rent here in the area. I mean, look at Virginia Beach, let alone. There are 300 plus rentals right now. But city leaders want you to know all the facts before you rent a place. With more than 2 million listings worldwide and hundreds in this area, Airbnb is changing the way people travel. Anyone with a home for rent or looking for a cheap place to stay can connect with a push of a few buttons.
Airbnb to me is makes me feel more at home when I'm away from home.
Airbnb is just one of several travel sites which popped up in the last couple years. It's an alternative to booking the traditional hotel room.
They're more local versus commercialized, which is what I like when I'm traveling.
Sounds great, right? But the online service is technically illegal in Virginia Beach. They don't comply with the same regulations as hotels and bed and breakfast. Virginia Beach Deputy City Manager Doug Smith says it's a major problem.
What if I bring my child in there and there's a liquor cabinet that isn't locked? Or what if I come in there and there are not adequate smoke alarms? Or what if I come in there and there are bed bugs? Or the kinds of things that we're accustomed to regulating in the hotel industry.
Smith says right now they don't have enough manpower to enforce the law in the more than 300 listings throughout the resort city.
What we're doing, frankly, is trying to understand what the situation is.
The General Assembly is also working to figure out its next steps. City leaders say they'll take their cues from legislation that would be passed.
We want to make sure we look at protecting the consumer and the person renting the house.
Officers went to the home twice for reports of shots fired.
In April, 20-year-old ODU student Darren Campbell was shot to death at a party in Virginia Beach. The house rented on Airbnb. The man who owned the house lives in China.
We don't want somebody to be able to anonymously rent a house and have a big party with 1,000 people there or 500 people there. That's just not what we're trying to do here.
Another potential security issue, the host and renters can remain anonymous.
It's surprising to us that they're not willing to disclose, who's doing, who's listing an Airbnb, and that cities and counties can't keep track of that.
Hotel associations are closely watching what the company, valued at more than $24 billion, is doing. They say there needs to be a level playing field that includes paying taxes.
I think you should register like any other business. I think it needs to register, as any other home-based business that you have, and they should pay the taxes that are required. Tenderside
reached out to Airbnb to get its take. It tells us there are security measures to make sure people listing homes are who they say they are.
We have continued to work with cities across the country and around the world on developing home sharing regulations that address the issues that are most important to them, and certainly questions of safety are an important part of that.
The business is also willing to abide by the same regulations as hotels, including paying the same fees.
We really believe that collecting and remitting hotel taxes is the right thing to do, and we want to make it easier for our hosts to do so.
Technology is giving folks on the boardwalk a lot of options, and local leaders are trying to stay one step ahead.
It's a great concept, a great idea. We just need to make sure we have the appropriate controls in place.
And I'm told the General Assembly study will be done on Airbnb December 1st. Now, we focused on Virginia Beach, but really, there's more of an issue than Virginia Beach. Take a look at Norfolk. In fact, Norfolk is the second fastest growing market in the state for Airbnb, and that's because a lot of people who live in Ocean View are now putting their homes up for rental on the site. That's the latest here in the newsroom. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.